So I've made 2 of these videos in the past to go over Vanilla 3. And I hate to be like that person online that's like, oh, don't watch my past stuff. Those videos are all bad. And while I am like still pretty proud of a majority of my catalog, there's a hard stop right before those 2 videos. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I didn't have my editing timing down. And what is the most embarrassing about that is that I thought that those were like so cool and like such a good idea that I named my entire channel after it. So I can't really escape them. And what I think to be the cringiest part of those, and I'm so sorry for using cringe, that is that I used them as a way to like get out all of the jokes that I made to myself during my first playthrough and make those like public, but I like did it 2 months afterwards. And that's what like kinda I really hate about it. And I luckily saved myself from doing that again now because flawless segue, I have my entire first playthrough of Remind on my channel. Here. Somewhere on my channel. If that interests you at all, you could find it. Go find it. I won't make it easy for you to find what I want you to watch. This is a rambling intro, sorry about that. I also don't know why I'm bringing those up because this review, I guess you could basically call it, if I didn't want to be like so unique and cool. It very much does not have the same structure that those other videos had because I just can't figure out a way for that to make sense in my brain for right now. So here is, at this point in time, me making this video that is absolutely everything good and bad about Kingdom Hearts 3, the Remind DLC. Probably should have mentioned this contains spoilers for everything, including the secret boss. What I first and foremost can't like work through mentally is Oathkeeper and Oblivion. Okay, yes, very good, right? Very good that we got them. The method of getting them with the proofs is very fun as well. Right? We as RPG fans, we like to go through processes. We like to, you know, be rewarded for the hard work and the many hours that we put into things. I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is that, like, you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, right? You have your save file from the first time that you played Kingdom Hearts 3, right? And that's the one that you have dumped so many hours into, correct? And you have like all the collectibles, like everything that you could get there. You have all the different unlockable keyblades there. And that's where you would get your Oathkeeper proof from, is from that save file that has all of the stuff, all of the work that you've put into it. That's like that's your work save file. And then you have your Oblivion on your critical save file. And unless you want to go through and get all, I mean, yeah, that's probably what you should be doing, is getting like all the pictures on that save file as well. So you have every single Keyblade except for the Oblivion on that save file, correct? Then, because you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, you did your critical playthrough before Remind came out. So you have every Keyblade except Oathkeeper on that save file. And this might be like a really bad explanation of it, and I fully submit to the conclusion that I'm just stupid. But to have all these different steps and all these different save files that you would have to burn through in order to get every single Keyblade on one save file and still expect us to do that in under 9 save files is kind of mean. Like, again, I say that we are RPG fans. We like all the different steps that we would have to achieve something, but like, just 9? I don't want to spend 10 to 15 minutes before I start any old playthrough deciding which save slot I want to give up. And like, what I really didn't understand is that, so after Vanilla 3 came out, everyone's very first complaint was it's too easy. But then in the same breath, everyone also said 9 save slots. What the hell? And I don't understand why at this point there are still only these 9 save slots, when that was something that like everyone was at like the top of their list of this is kind of bad, y'all. Honestly, I don't know why it wasn't fixed when we got Critical way back when, you know, because that was the top of everyone's list. And like, I'm not a tech person. I don't claim to understand anything about the technical limitations of what it would take to get more than 9 save slots, but it makes no sense when you were on a PlayStation 2 and you had 99 of them. Like, hey, maybe like I would like to have a save slot before Rapunzel gets her hair chopped off. Maybe I would like to have a save slot in the middle of the Keyblade Graveyard. Even with Remind, which adds that much more content onto this game, maybe I would like to have a save slot in the middle of that playthrough. Maybe I want to play that Kairi fight all day, every day, huh? You're not letting me have any fun, Dad. No, I hate to say it, but to now then have that many processes, that many steps, that's just like burner. They're just like burner slots for the Keyblades, for the Oathkeeper and Oblivion. To still only have 9 save slots with Remind has now brought it from being unpleasant to really quite unacceptable. I don't like it at all. So I'm sorry if that's harsh, but I want to have fun. Remind as a whole just kind of it took its time to really take off, and it's not as bad during your second and third playthroughs when you like know when you can skip a cutscene here and there, because it's just the same cutscenes over again from base 3. But the novelty of playing as other characters in all these fights wears off pretty quickly when it's surrounded by the same cutscenes and the same fights with really very little to change, or just not like you didn't have to change any of the events, the canon events of what happened, but like just something new to like pique my interest, like get my neurons firing just a bit, you know? I understand that there are like padding reasons and like, you know, cheaper ways to stretch out content, but like I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan, okay? I have every single second of animated cutscenes memorized. You don't need to show me that again. I got it, okay? Like, what even happened in the beginning? I don't know. I didn't pay attention. Lucky Sword, I don't care. Xehanort talking to Saïx, I don't care. Like, that's kind of already stuff that I know. I mean, I'm happy that they're all caught up, but you know, I got it. But you know, after those like little bit of like, all right, yeah, we have to make sure that everybody's on the same page. All right, we'll do like a little recap, even though like you have already been doing recaps for years because you're a Kingdom Hearts fan. This is what you do. You spend all of your time thinking about it. But once it does get to the point where it can be its own thing for real, it is so incredibly good. Like it's been a couple weeks now since it came out. The hype is like kind of dying down a little bit. Maybe we'll see after we like recontextualize and like, you know, but at this point I think the Guardian scene, the Mickey scene, the Kairi fight, big one, everything like passed, and I'm like, yeah, I do. Like, yeah, I really do. I want to say that I really do appreciate being able to play as multiple characters in this. They're just like, I mean, like I said, they're the same fights. I like them a lot. I just, They're not truly special in the way that from the Guardians fight on, it is that like good hour chunk is my favorite part of any Kingdom Hearts game, bar none. Yeah, they're the best. So I want you all to keep in mind that Remind is kind of my favorite piece of Kingdom Hearts media out there, while I do like kind of go in on it right now, okay? It's a little weird with Remind because it is at once like a sequel while still existing within the same events of 3. Hey, that's what like a DLC is. You give yourself a little bit of time to take in the criticisms and like roll with it, you know? And while it was entirely unacceptable that they treated Kairi in particular that way, again, that's like that's my one note that I sing. That's my thing that I'm about. Welcome to my channel. They listened, they improved, and we kind of have to move forward. There's only so much that harping on like the same criticisms are gonna do for them and are gonna do for me. So, I mean, that's still what I'm gonna always like be very fearful of, and what I'm going to look out for intensely and deeply. I'm still gonna find it in all the tiniest little things, but that's because, is that fun for me? I guess that's fun for me. Hey, this might be a horrible video. I have nothing scripted out, and I feel like I am not having a point anywhere. I get into more points later. That's the trick. You make your video bad in the beginning so that they keep watching to the good part. And you have to reward people when they do well, even as a cover-up for past mistakes, because that incentivizes them to keep doing better. Who knows, maybe someday we might get to a point where we can have this scene and this scene without having to have this scene and this scene. And I know that that sentiment could be applied to gameplay. That's not my expertise. I don't feel comfortable saying anything about that. What I felt with the new combos was fun. And I haven't played like any of the limit cut bosses. I mean, I'm sure like the music is really nice. I haven't experienced any of it. And one little thing I will say about doing all this correcting is that it does kind of emphasize, especially with like Naminé waking up, it kind of does emphasize how much you really didn't think about Kairi and Naminé in the first place. So, I mean, watch out for that in the future. You're not always gonna get like a second chance to like do it over again. Speaking of Naminé, like, hey, you doubled the amount of scenes that she was in. That brings her grand total up to 2, though. So let's try to do better. I also kind of find it funny, well, you know, funny in the way that isn't funny at all, that Nomura kind of seems to have room in his heart for only one girl at a time. Like, yeah, Naminé got her scene, and Aqua got like an explanation for her nihilism with the anti-Aqua bit and making anti-Aqua have, you know, an impact that lasted longer than 2 seconds. Way to go. But like, Xion got really shafted in this. Listen, and I did say this way back when it was just Vanilla 3. I know that Xion is like a being mostly of memories, but I know she has a heart. You know she has a heart. You told me she has a heart. And to not show that, to not visually communicate it in a visual medium, when you did do that for the other 2 hearts in Sora, when both Roxas and Ven have that little ping that goes and then you don't do that for Xion, that's what's the word I'm looking for? Shitty? I also want to mention, just because it was something that was really off for this series, that the audio mixing was really, yeah, not great for some reason. Like, especially during the Guardians fight, the music and the voice levels were not balanced. What did he say? And watching other people experience it too, like they did notice that a lot of Riku's lines, and especially Terra, were very crunchy. And that was at least good for me, like, oh, phew, you know, it's not just me. But like, I only want to bring it up because it's not really normal for this team to have that happen. Like, I can only assume that they were like pressed for time or something, because this isn't like, this is an oddity for the Kingdom Hearts series. Sorry, my furnace just came on. Because the work that they put forth is usually really good, and I don't know, maybe I just want to bring it up to remind people that working conditions are not always constant, especially when you do good work. You're kind of, you know, almost always kind of punished for it. That was like deep in a way that I fucking hated. Don't listen to gamers. Here's the lesson from that. Don't listen to gamers, and go ahead with that shitty Sonic design. Who cares? Listen to designers and listen to like actual creative. Okay, no, never mind. If you had told me in June, no, if you had told me like a minute before firing up the DLC that this was going to be a Kairi DLC, I wouldn't have believed you. And yet it basically was. Like, she was there, she was present, she was a presence, she was the major driving force. And yeah, she's been a driving force before, but like, she was this dominating air that hung over the entire runtime, that demanded all of the attention. Every other word out of Sora's mouth was Kairi, and it was hammered in constantly that this was all for her. And I just want to say that that's really great. Thank you for that. It's like if my brain just became the Kingdom Hearts series for a moment. And you know what? You love to see it. And I really, 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 really sincerely and truly hope that I could have just like a little bit more of this ever just once more in my lifetime. And this is like a nitpicky kind of thing. Kind of the only like really small little that I wanted to mention. The only part that made me like really narrow my eyes was Sora's ending speech about, like, you know, waiting and if it's impossible to be together. Like, babe, what are you doing? Like, you really said that in front of Kairi and was like, there is no irony that I could be missing out on right now. Sora, you have no experience of waiting for someone, and it was not impossible for you to be together. After you woke up from your year-long coma, because we have to distinguish that now, you could have at any point gone to check on Kairi on Destiny Islands, at any point popped into her training sessions with Axel. There was nothing stopping you from being together, no unseen force that was making it impossible. The only thing stopping you was some big old basic pride. And I know that Nomura was just using Sora as a mouthpiece here to like try to give an excuse as to why Kairi's been like missing for the past couple games. Maybe. But these words specifically about waiting and for it to be impossible to be together would have meant a lot more coming from the person who has experience in these fields. And it demonstrates that Nomura, with all of the progress that he did just make, still does have this mental block where he just like doesn't get his female characters. Like, my dude, they are just the same as your male characters. You know, like, being a human being isn't that hard to relate to, you know. I do kind of like Sora's time. I do kind of like the, even though it was obviously retconned, I do kind of like that Sora's time traveling was always meant to be there. Like, he does things when he's in the time travel that kind of need to be there for the events to have actually happened the way that they did in Vanilla 3. Like, catching Mickey, like, if he hadn't been there, Mickey would have fallen all the way to the ground and we would have a flat little rat. Obviously, he needed to be there to say that. One, because I think I do like that kind of time travel story. I think I do. Like, obviously it doesn't make sense, but like, it's fun to think of it that way. And it does kind of play, especially in the Kingdom Hearts series, it does kind of play to the, you can't change what's destined to happen, part of the rule of time travel, so it fits here. I like the kind of, oh, your future self was there to kind of always help you out kind of time travel stuff, the same way I like in prophecy stories, trying to not make the prophecy happen makes the prophecy happen like super hard, which is also in this series. So go me for liking something that I like. That's real stupid. Oh, and here's some like tea. like okay, so with the Yozora endings, I kind of like the bad ending better. Like, it reaches out to Kingdom Hearts' Final Fantasy roots. You know, crystals are very important. That as of what I understand, crystals are important. And I kind of like Sora being in crystal stasis. It's, I guess a callback to Noctis. Sorry, bro. I like him being in crystal stasis, not being able to leave until someone rescues him. Even though, like, who knows when he actually fights Yozora in the timeline of events? Like, is it closer to him dying, or is it closer to the end of that year-long time skip kind of thing? You know, that's what's always up in the air. Always. It's just always up in the air, isn't it? Or does it even matter? Does time move differently in this different realm that he's in? Is it a realm of death? You know, we'll see if it's a good decision or not. Speaking of Yozora, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm happy Versus 13 got canned. I'm super happy that Nomura gets to reclaim Noctis and Stella and other unused concepts from Versus 13. But here's the thing, like, when I sign up to play Kingdom Hearts, I kind of want to play Kingdom Hearts, and I don't really want to be sneak fed scraps from the garbage. Yeah, I'm only laughing because it's like really mean to say, but it's my true feelings, you know. And while I am still intrigued by what he wants to do, because he is a fun storyteller that I enjoy. Sorry, I know that I harp on Nomura a lot, and I feel like I should say at least once in earnest that I do actually like the man, and I like a lot of the story beats and universes that he comes up with. I wouldn't be paying that much attention to him if I didn't like him, and well, and I don't say that I like him as often as I probably should. So I'm sorry about that, sir. With Nomura saying that going forward, Kingdom Hearts will have 3 storylines, I'm thinking maybe he has it set up so that one line is going to be the Kingdom Hearts main titles, the main line of Kingdom Hearts, that it includes spin-offs and sequels and midquels, but that's still like the main line, the main storyline going forward, right? And then one for Union Cross and Dark Road, or like the mobile game line, since Union Cross might be folding into Dark Road, and then they can, whenever Dark Road is ready to go down, then they can then fold that into the next mobile game that they want to put out, and then that is just constantly trucking on into oblivion. And the third line would be for Verum Rex, because again, I am happy that Nomura got custody of his son again, but at the same time, I also don't want Verum Rex to thrive at the detriment of the Kingdom Hearts series from within the Kingdom Hearts series. And with that fear, I would hope that like maybe Verum Rex gets enough traction to then like be separated off and become like a whole spin-off series to Kingdom Hearts. Again, if it can ever like evolve into something that big, just so that it doesn't interfere with anything in Kingdom Hearts in the future. And while I do have no past experience to use as evidence that this like could be a thing, Nomura is a workhorse, and I'm pretty sure is able to juggle like close to 1,000 separate projects all at once. I don't know why I am. I'm just worried. Like, maybe it's just because like Yozora is yet another character that would take up screen time that could be going to Kairi. I don't know. I'm nuts like that. I don't know why I have that fear, but that's a genuine fear for me. Oh, maybe I should do like some closing thoughts. So I know that was a lot, and there's not really anything to be learned here. I want to commend, thank, grovel in front of, and kiss the boot of the people who are making this series. They are not only producing the most unique and heart-touching and I want to say like objectively good, but I don't think I really can, but objectively fun. Just like, it is the complete human experience in a piece of media. I don't know where I'm going with this, but like, Remind was so good. And I hope that they, with the improvements that they made, I hope that they continue on with those. And there's not a lot that can be improved on. What do I want? What would I want to improve on? More slave slots? Yeah, that's kind of a biggie. More poses for nominated data greeting, like the alternate outfits for Issa, Axel, Shion, and Roxas. Like, hey guys, you're gonna have to model them at some point, so. Vanitas' face, would love to see that in data greeting mode. But then like after that, like we don't have to touch 3, we can move on from 3, we can close that chapter of this series, this beautiful, wonderful series that I love more than life itself, and I love this piece of DLC more than anything else, including the rest of the series. So congratulations to that. What comes next? I can't wait to see what comes next. As always, I can't wait to see what comes next with this series. I hope I can stick around for like the end of it, to experience every second that they want to give me. I hope I live that long, you know? How long will this series go? That's like not like a cry for help or anything. I just hope that they like get it out before I turn like 70, you know? Remind. How many stars? How many stars do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 4 stars. Make sure, oh, I gotta make sure to eat the one with the leaf on it. It's covered in dog hair, actually. I'm not gonna do that. Also, hey, Dark Road. I'm gonna take my ass down that old dark road. I'm not gonna play as an interesting character until I can play as Kairi again.